Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome. Thank you for joining us today for this exciting and timely session on Turn Your Training Business into a Certified AI Powerhouse in Weeks. I'm Srishti, and I'll be your host for today's session. Over the past few years, AI has rapidly moved from being a niche capability to becoming a core business priority. Organizations across industries are not just exploring AI, they're actively looking for ways to build AI ready teams and future proof their workforce. This shift has created a massive opportunity, especially for training organizations. But here's the reality. While the demand for AI skills is growing exponentially, many training businesses are still figuring out how to adapt. Simply adding AI courses isn't enough. To truly stand out, training organizations need structured, industry recognized certifications, scalable program models, and a clear pathway to deliver measurable value to learners and enterprises. This is exactly where AI certs comes in. Today's session is not just about AI training, it's about transforming your training business into a certified AI powerhouse with the right frameworks, partnerships, and go to market approaches. At AI Certs, the focus is on enabling training providers to move beyond content delivery and become trusted certification partners in the AI ecosystem. What we have consistently seen is the success in AI training isn't just about knowledge, it's about credibility, structure, and the ability to scale. And that is exactly what we'll be discussing today. And to guide us through this conversation, we are joined by two leaders who bring deep expertise in AI, certifications, and building scalable training ecosystems. First, I'm pleased to introduce Mr. Chintan Dave, General Manager and Certification Director at AI Certs. Chintan brings a strong foundation in technology and systems thinking, with extensive experience in designing certification frameworks and enabling organizations to build structured, future ready learning programs. His work focuses on helping training providers and enterprises move beyond fragmented learning approaches towards well defined, scalable certification models that align with industry needs. Next, I am excited to welcome Rahul Srivastav, Strategy Director at AI Certs. Rahul brings over 8 years of experience in the edtech industry, spanning strategy, operations, program management, and growth. He has been instrumental in building and scaling multiple 0 to 2 initiatives, helping organizations launch impactful programs and take them to market successfully. He's passionate about helping training partners unlock growth opportunities in AI by combining speed, structure, and market alignment. Without a further ado, I would like to hand over the stage to Chintan and Rahul now. Rahul, over to you.
I think thank you, Shrishti, for a great introduction. Thanks, Chintan, for joining in on on a Friday, and thanks to everyone who has really interacted with us on the chat in the last 5 minutes. Jack, James, Zon, I think all of you have reverted. Thank you so much for joining in. I think it's that time of the week where Friday is half of the mind is on the weekend side, and then half of the mind is still thinking and evaluating whether we really want to what AI is really doing into our organization. So I'll keep it very structured. We will try to keep it short, concise, and progressive, so that you will be able to understand what value do AI search bring to the market for training providers, and how do they make money in the current scheme of things. So first of all, we'll talk about the kind of infrastructure and framework required, why most of the AI readiness companies are failing right now with respect to keeping everything up to the mark. Then we are going to talk about the current demand in specifically APAC region. And then Chintan is also going to take us through, since he is the CTO and certification director at the Sardir INC, which is a brand of which is a part of overall brand. So I would and we would also take you through the complete framework that we run through, how we have built these certification, what really goes into. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask it, because we really want to keep it a lot more engaging than keeping it limited to only what is there in the presentation. So I think turn your training business into a certified AI powerhouse in weeks. How APAC training providers are launching high growth certification led AI practices without building everything from scratch. So it itself says that APAC has a huge market. We know that training business, the typical traditional ILT business, has been declining, and of course the upliftment and the upside we have seen is through AI and emerging technologies. We all know that we have been doing cybersecurity, cloud computing. Now that has also turned down into an emerging technology where we need AI plus cloud, we need AI plus cybersecurity, and that's where we place ourselves. So I'll quickly run you through what is the key problem that AI search solves for the partners in a partner ecosystem. So why most APAC training providers struggle to build a true AI practice? Because we have seen, we do the training, then the companies and the organizations, the academic institutions comes back and says, it's not still put into practice. Adoption is still a bigger play that we want to see. Only training is not helping us. How do we generate the ROI after the training? We also see AI is growing at a rate of almost 38%. It is staggering at the rate of 38% when it was peak for cloud and cybersecurity back in 2016, 12 to 16. It was staggering at 16, 17%. So I'm just suggest the data is suggesting that at least 2.5 times is what AI and blockchain technologies are staggering at. Now, you might be wondering one more thing, that Chintan has a background of AI search, Shrishti has a background of AI search, and you see my background, which is AI labs. So I'll also be able to tell you how we have solved the problem using an infrastructure layer, not just by putting a content roadmap to our website or to our customers. So let's talk about the gap between offering AI workshops and becoming a certified market leader. What most providers offer right now is generic intro to AI workshops, no vendor alignment. When we talk about vendor alignment, what I also mean is we do not want to compete with Cisco's, Microsoft's, AWS of the world. We supplement their core learnings as of today. So we are vendor aligned and not vendor agnostic. When we talk about unverified credentials, we have seen a lot more. There's a gray market or black market, I would say, where there is a still bigger differentiation that enterprise are now able to see if they are verified credentials or they are really just certificates for the namesake. There's no standard compliance around AI because it's staggering, it's moving very fast. Holistically, we need a complete system and infrastructure to support every country, every industry, every job role. So one of the things that I want to talk about is that we are one of the only companies on planet Earth which has 90 plus certifications. You talk about technical certification, you talk about non-technical certification, you talk about HR, finance, legal, healthcare, you talk about cloud computing, quantum computing, you talk about cybersecurity. All of these things are already there in one place. So one of the things that I want to really appreciate, and one of the things that we have been proudly doing is that we are not a generic intro AI workshop place or a marketplace. What enterprises have been looking forward for, we have seen maintaining ISO standards, being vendor aligned, because most of the companies are using Microsoft, most of the companies are using Google, most of the companies are using other systems in place which are already been traditional in nature, and they do not want to really change completely from legacy system. And of course legacy systems were never built to change, of course they are there to stay. How we can penetrate and integrate with our systems is what we are looking forward for, and what enterprises are looking forward for. So of course there's a strong standard compliant framework that I'm going to, and then Chintan is going to talk about what is the key pillars that we have introduced in our frameworks to ensure that it is vendor line, it is industry recognized, it is academically making creating impact on the employability side of things. So one of the things that I wanted to tell you is why this wins as an enterprise contracts is because procurement can justify their cost on the training. Compliance verified, credentials are portable. That's one of the reasons I have put in AI labs, which is one of the things that I want to talk about in this particular webinar, where we have Cert 365 and Proctoring 365, which is completely in-house for us. ROI is measurable. Every passes every enterprise RFP accounts that we have bid for, 70% of them we have won because of the unique positioning of our product and the kind of the quality of what we have built in the last almost 2 decades, I would say. So just to go on to the next slide, to give everyone some more understanding, there are three building blocks for us. Chintan, who has been working day in day out, he has been very strong blockchain architect in himself for almost 2 decades. Chintan, if you can take us a little more in terms of how these three building blocks has redefined the complete certification body when it comes to AI, specifically AI in APAC region.
Absolutely. And Rahul has rightly mentioned. So we are the only certification body in the world right now which has the comprehensive suite of role-based and AI and blockchain certification. And I would emphasize why we are role-based and vendor agnostic is the structure and the framework that we follow that we want to complement the other providers and the other technologies which is out there so that the framework stays relevant irrespective of the organizations you guys are working with. So let's say you're working with the healthcare industry, to you're working with the legal, you're working with manufacturing, we're not only about the tech certifications, it's also about the huge portfolio of the professional certification as well. Now, the key ingredient in the entire process is that we rigorously follow the ISO IEC 170242012. Now, what is that? ISO 170242012 is the certification standard for a personal certification. That means we are going through more than 200 and plus checklist point to produce any certification. It starts with the market research to a job task analysis. We go into the domain ingredients and we go into then creating the subject matter experts based certification where we are having a huge pool of SMEs who are working on each project. They are subject matter experts for the particular domain. And then we implement this entire rigorous process in every single product that we have right now. So with that being said, why it is helpful? Because it gives the certification two of the most important principle, which is an impartiality and confidentiality. So we are making sure every product that has been built is built on the impartiality role and roadmap. With that being said, the rigorous process follows the framework and it makes it so relevant and credible for the organization who is going through the process, right? We have thousands and thousands of learners getting certified through this process every single day. More than 300 plus partners being part of this ecosystem right now who are actually vouching and working with us. So we're making sure that we stay relevant to each geo as well. So even though we are following this rigorous policy, we're making sure that the content and the certifications are isolated. That means you are going to work on the course where you're going to have a certification as well. We are making sure that the content and the certification stays aligned, but then they say non-competent as well. The reason being that we want to make sure that we are not actually giving them the cookbooks only, but we are also giving them the framework. That means a learner can go through the framework and as if they are sitting in the virtual instructor-led classes or instructor-led classes, the courseware will be so relevant for them to work with the relevant case studies in the particular geographies as well. And Rahul is going to talk more about the how the relevancy is being aligned and made. The compliance part is the most important part because everybody wants to follow the compliance and we want to make sure that we are staying fully governed. We are more than 3+ years in this business right now. The certification body is issuing and helping thousands of learners across the geo, including the government institutions as well. So the compliance stays really important. We make sure that there is a checklist and the executional standard operating procedures across the quality standards. That means each artifact of a certification, be it examinations, be it the coursewares, be it a train the trainer processes, everything is standard and aligned toward the ecosystem, which is becoming more globally recognized due to the relevancy and the competence we have. The contents are being updated most frequently and relevancy wise, and we help align these the same as well. One of the most important part that we already have a proven partner ecosystem that we said we are actually working with the partners in the capacity that they're having the professional certifications to be worked with and the bodies to work with, associations to work with. and an individual as well. So if you're working with an individual ecosystem, you're working with the B2Bs, you're working with the B2Gs, the certification process and the framework and the products will stay relevant to, pitch into the kind of accounts and the clients that you're working with. We do have thousands of case studies we're working on. You could see in the website as well. The learners are going through the certification. And at the end of the day, the thorough process is taken through the proctored examination. That means we have AI and blockchain based proctored solution, which Rahul is going to talk briefly about. A Proctor 365 and Search 365, they are the products that we have it, which is actually making sure that the entire process is fully rigorous. With that being said, it provides you the market deliverability across the geos that you're working in. So let's say you're working in APAC, you're working in EMEA, you're working in US. The content relevancy, the product relevancy for the certification stays fully compliant as well as fully aligned with the kind of clients you're going to work with and the roles you're going to tap in. And the entire process, again, I'm repeating, goes through the thorough checklist of the content implementation and the exam implementation, keeping the certification process completely isolated than the courseware itself. Over to you, Rahul.
Thank you so much, Chintan. I think just wanted to emphasize on one part where Chintan mentioned about being governed. One of the things that I want to reiterate is that when we went down to PwC Academy, approached us, Ascendant Learning, which is a part of Accenture, they approached us. The first thing that they looked as was, whether you are globally recognized, what is the kind of ISO certification that you follow before we entered into the partnership. It's been almost 3 months that we have been entered into these two major partnerships that has happened, PwC Academy Middle East. This is for almost 30,000 learners. And then we have, Ascendant Learning for more than 1 lakh employees across Accenture. So I just wanted to tell all of you that we are completely compliant, we are completely governed, and we have created a complete holistic structure that I'm going to talk about what are the real complexity we have faced and how did we overcome with that. So why APAC is the right region to build the complete training powerhouse as of today. One of the reasons is we know that a lot of investments has been happening from the government's end. If I talk about India in itself, almost $150 million have been invested in the year of 2025 in the first 3 months itself. Government has declared a lot more to go ahead in the roadmap for entire 2026 as well and for 2027 as well. Now, if you see what is the major problem that Chintan also pointed out was regulatory fragmentation. In India, we have DPDP Act. In Singapore, if we go, we have Mask Management Act. Japan, we have APPI. Indonesia, we have another separate acts. So the problem is what is compliant in one market is not compliant in another. So scaling without any infrastructure becomes irrelevant. And then you need to have a very holistic approach in terms of the content, in terms of governance, in terms of the policies, in terms of your framework in itself. Second problem that we have understood after we have about 250, not 250, 280 authorized training partners across the world right now. And what we have seen is instructor availability again becomes a very big problem if you are dealing in multiple time zones. 75% of the APAC employers struggle to find AI talent. And that's where the core problem, how we have solved it is because we know we have a suite of certifications, which is 90 plus certification. You might not get AI plus HR, you might get AI plus finance, you might not get AI plus quantum computing, you might get AI plus maybe project management. That's where what we have done is we have created a platform completely. We call it as Trainify, where we are not a training company, but what we do is we have a lot of trainers who comes to us voluntarily, takes the certification. We ask them, if we put your case onto our website, someone wants to reach out to you, they need immediate availability, what is your price charge, can we show it to our clients? They agreed upon it, and that's where we have created a complete Rankify and Trainify. I would say these are two platforms that you would be able to utilize for seeing whether you don't have an in-house instructor, you need on the go instructor, in demand instructor. This is where the platform comes into place. If I talk about rapid AI evolution, I think Chintan rightly mentioned that relevance of content becomes very important. Something that was I was using ChatGPT, back in 2024. Now I'm using Claude, which is by Anthropic, which is extended version 4.2 Sonnet. So I'm just trying to tell we are evolving every week, every month, every day. There's a change that comes in. So it is very important for us also to keep up with the change for what we have built for our customers and of course for our training companies, so that they don't feel any embarrassment when they go out in front of the consumer and say this is the most updated content, this is where you would be able to have job specific enterprise deals coming in. Because what happens is, if you were selling only cybersecurity in an organization which was only 1000 2000 size organization, you can only do training to 25 or 30 employees. Chintan, you can correct me, but I don't think so 30 plus employees are there in any 1000 organization where you have cybersecurity team size of more than 30. So your limitation becomes only
Yeah.
30 training people. Here you can go and say, sir, we provide enterprise wide solution. You have HR function, you have finance function, you have operations, you have supply chain, you have legal. We have everything in one place. So your average deal size, which was earlier just a $5,000 $10,000 deal, becomes by design $30,000 deal. So that is something that we have seen with our partners. I can name few partners who are doing more than $60,000 in Southeast Asia. I have Trainocate, I have Lumify, I have Fastlane, I have Netcom Learning, I have ITSM, I have PSTC in Thailand. All of these partners are making more than 50,000. And just to tell everyone, we have done a very thorough analysis. When I'm not talking about e-learning resale, I'm talking about virtual instructor led classes. If they are going to make or give us $1, they end up making $5. That's the number that we have seen, which is almost 5 times of what we are getting. So if I am charging you $100, you are by design making $500 on that particular deal. So just giving a very high level understanding on where we are. But yes, then again, Chintan, you remember we have done a lot more analysis and understood that these are the 6 growth levers only for the certified AI platform that we have created. In fact, I would be I'm very keen to see that one of our partners, I think Meenakshi Jadhav is on the meeting. She was earlier our partner. She was a reseller. She has no people, nothing. She said, Rahul, I'm an HR person. And I want to sell your certifications. How do I do this? I said, just go and resell our certifications, see whether you get the traction or not. You won't believe, in 2 months, he sold some certification. She got that traction. She got into the confidence of getting into a partnership. And now she's our full-time partner, authorized training partner. Now she is having a team of three or four odd member, which is a big achievement for a person who was an individual contributor to becoming a 4 5 member team size. So kudos to you and thank you for joining in. I'm sure you are enjoying the partnership that we have built over last 6 to 8 months. So just wanted to tell everyone that content is not outdated. Vendor alignment is vendor aligned. We are not vendor agnostic. Quality is consistent in what we do. Of course, we have made mistakes in the past and we keep on improving the quality as and when we get the feedback from our learners on our LMS, on our NPS scores, through our trainers. So we keep on improvising and increasing the quality of our content. I would not say that we are 99 100% there. Of course, we keep on improvising the new changes that keeps on happening. But that's where it's very important that we keep all the important discussions with our partner marketing manager and partner success manager. That's where we dedicatedly have two very strong individuals assigned to every account. That you need a partner marketing manager who will help you market the product, co-market the product together. And then you need a partner success manager who can actually be a help, where they can train your sales team, they can train your product teams, they can train your backend teams, and they can actually go on to sales calls with you. So that is where we create key difference. So I think the last three would be long delivery timelines. That's where we want to tell everyone all our technical courses are of 40 hours only, which is 5 day. All our non-technical courses, which is case based studies, right, case study based courses like HR, finance, legal, are 1 day. That's where, that is one of the reasons we don't have 10 15 20 30 days of classroom classes. We have 5 days, 1 day, depending upon what you want to take it ahead with your customers. You can actually have that flexibility. If I talk about the proof of scale, I think it's very important for you to understand that a lot of enterprise customers would come and say, can you show us 5 similar enterprise implementation, how they have achieved the ROI, how they have adopted to this particular tool after doing certain certifications. Is there a, because certification is a very objective way of evaluating any individual's competency in terms of whether they are AI skilled or not. So that is where, certification in itself becomes a lot more easier for us to project and position that if someone, and this is something that we have done multiple times. We have done a survey analytics with enterprises where we have seen where our partners have seen at least 12 to 18% of increase in their productivity. I am not someone who will brag about 40%, 50, 80%. This is an average. We have seen 18 to 20% where the productivity has grown. Chintan, if you want to maybe talk one or two lines on this, because you have been involved to this project, on a high level, if you want to speak on this, it will be great.
Absolutely. So it's extremely important to keep it relevant, and the growth levers itself says, you. So basically, we already are all over, right? We have millions of views coming in all our products on every single day, starting from across the globe. Kind of the testimonials from the learners, from the partners, and thousands of enrollments are happening every week. The most important part is to understand that it's not the sellable process only, it's also the most standard and acute projects you would find it relevant. The reason, let's say the new tools are being added, the new frameworks are being incorporated. It's very important that the product and the content is the key for the reason that you're working on, right? So it really provides you the confidence, going with the based in the business content with the multimodality at the courseware as well, right? Which I think Rahul is going to deep dive into it. All of our content you will get it in the videos, audios, podcasts, and ebook version. With that being said, the learner who wants to work some of the topics for the professional certification specifically, they want to listen and learn, they want to watch and learn, they want to read and learn, they want to interact and learn. With that being, having the labs within integrated, it's going to make a super aligned product lining back to the kind of a suit you want to work with. And the ecosystem really helps each other. We do meet almost every fortnight and a month, and we discuss, and there are dedicated discussions happening on this to make it so relevant for you guys in your region as well. And as we discuss, Rahul is going to talk more about what we're providing to the partner, so that it's more of a partner driven, partner led, and partner agnostic process, which is we are partner first organization. So we're making sure that everything that you're trying to do, including working with your projects, we try and make it relevant and acute for your requirements that you're working with your clients. Yep, absolutely.
Thank you, Chintan. I think I also wanted to talk about the summarization of what we have discussed. So at global recognized certification, we have 70 plus role base. Actually, we have now reached to 90 plus. We have almost 50 into technical side and 40 into non-technical side. We have proven ecosystem, which is where we have 170 global ATPs. Then we have academic institutions. We have resellers. We have I think consulting companies who are partnered with us. So I'm just talking about 170 global partners, are only partners who are globally available. They have multiple, they're headquartered at one place, but they have multiple entities across. So we have a proven ecosystem. Speed to delivery, which is in AI, is considered as one of the key metrics, and it is a north star for us and for the training companies, so that you don't get into customization of the course, you don't get into recreation of those courses. You have a plug and play model which is accepted widely. If you go and pitch it to 10 customers, I can guarantee you 7 customers out of 10 would say this is acceptable, we want to go ahead. 3 customers would come back to you and say that, Rahul, you know what, I need to really do some changes into the curriculum, and we are open to that. We will be able to do that only if we see a bigger opportunity coming in, a very big opportunity. If it is for 500 learners, 1000 learners, we will spend equal amount of time with you to customize, and we will be able to create an instance for you and give it to you. Second, fourth, I think, Chintan, you have already talked about standard compliance and quality assurance. I don't want to get into it another time. But again, just to reassure everyone that we are completely globally recognized, one of the things that I want to talk about is we are platform driven organization. We are product and platform driven organization. We are not just giving and creating content and giving it to everyone. We have a partner portal, which I'm going to talk about. We have a trainer portal for trainers where they get certified. Train the trainer program happens for them, which is completely free of cost when you come as an authorized training partner with us. We have Rankify, which is a partner portal given to them, a trainer portal given to them for their own understanding, where they can actually find out the talents and the right instructors to train on their on demand trainers that they need. If I talk about, I think trainer portal, partner portal are two very important portals that we give it to our customer. And then of course we have LMS, which is learning management system, which we call it as learner portal, which is for the end user. Now training companies are customers to us, but the customer to customer is end user, which is where you have user coming in and learning on the LMS part. So I think I'll quickly run you through something that we have built. I think a few of the names you would have been hearing it. I have not mentioned here about PwC Academy, because that has recently transacted, and we have now partnered with Accenture as well. So I think we have about 1 lakh, more than 1 lakh learners who are certified. I'm not saying they are on our platform; they are certified. We have about more than, Chintan, correct me if it is right, but we have 2.5 lakh apps download that has happened in the last 2.5 years. So I think the way we are expanding our network with our partners, we are completely positioning ourselves as a very strong product platform organization, so that at any given point in time the partner does not has to go back and do anything. It's just one click away for them. So as I mentioned that, from a platform perspective, we have also built two major platform, Proctoring 365 and Certs 365. It's a AI proctoring tool, and Certs 365 is a credentialing platform where we issue certifications on our own platform, which is based on blockchain technology. So these two important platforms we have developed in house. We don't take any services from outside. The major reason why we do that is because we know APAC as a market is a very price sensitive market. We cannot come back and say that we have a course for $500, $800. Like in US, we can say that. But in APAC, we cannot say that. And that's one of the reasons we don't want to partner with any third parties. We want to create a moat for ourselves, that we have created everything in house, and the pricing can be easy for our trainers, training companies to go and really sell easily without any hassle. Chintan, you want to add anything on this? I mean, you have also been working on the product and the platform side very closely with the CPO. So you have any insights on that?
Oh, absolutely. So the number goes up every single day, and we are onboarding the weekly. We are onboarding the number of partners, and the enrollment goes. The base part is that the ecosystem definitely gets a lot of nudges in terms of having the, let's say, certification like AI plus foundation as kind of product to go into the accounts. We definitely work with them to have a deep dive enablement sessions as well. The most important part is the portfolio, as you can see, and the numbers, which really helps you to understand that we are already growing the ecosystem. We already grown the ecosystem where it is really going to help you kind of a scale with a kind of a initial discussion to your the accounts. And what we do is we try to train with the various projects that we have it called, we call it sales certified professional, the certifications for the partners itself, which literally help them to kind of train the sales teams, and then we work with them to projects where they need a mapping on the curriculums with the projects that they're tapping in. It's a fully customizable portfolios you can go in into pitch in, and definitely ticks and keep the relevancy of the certification, as well as you get the credible courseware as well. With that being said, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Chintan. I think the three pillars that we also talked about initially was the content always being updated. The exams are credible enough to really check the competency. And of course, that exam is being layered with the structure that we have, or the infrastructure that we have created, which is proctoring and certs issuance, where no one can cheat in the exam. It's very highly sensitive. You change the tab and you get, your exams get halted. So it's very important to understand that the authenticity of certification gets improved when we have such infrastructure in place. So content is always updated. We have credible certification, and of course, the third thing that we will depend on you as a partner is GTM. Right? We want to know your customers, who are your customer segment, who do you want to target, in which geography do you want to target. Are you really looking at only and only in a specific country or in a specific region? We would, and our partner marketing manager and partner success manager, these two people are going to very closely work alongside to give you a complete direction in terms of what are the best practices to really become successful in no given point in time. So I think this is the complete stack that we have developed. This is my favorite slide that I want to really talk about, which is 70 plus role based certifications. We have categorized the certifications into multiple. practice areas. We call it as essential series, where in essential you have AI foundation, AI everyone, AI executive, AI prompt engineering. If you are into business, we have AI plus sales, AI plus marketing, HR, researcher, writer, supply chain. If you are into blockchain and Bitcoin, then you have Bitcoin for everyone, blockchain executive. All these courses are live. We are not talking about any course that is going to be upcoming. These are all live courses that we have AI plus medical assistant, we have AI. And just to tell everyone, because now we are talking about AI agents, agentic AI has improved a lot more maturity in the system. We can say we have every course that we provide, we have AI agent curriculum involved into it, we have case studies involved into it, because AI agent has a use case everywhere, not just in customer support, not just in the customer facing side of things, but also on the non customer facing side of things. So I think this is what we all have been very proud of, that we have created certifications which are job role specific. And these job roles or specific certifications are also diverted and multiplied into the basic industry. So when I am saying someone is talking about AI plus HR uh, in a in a manufacturing industry versus someone who is doing AI plus HR into an IT industry, it is going to be key. There are going to be foundational are going to be same, but the application would be completely different. So I think what we want to talk about, the plug and play model that we have developed. I think I'm just going to run you through, and then I'm going to talk about the kind of partnerships that we have today, so that if you are keen and if you are someone who really wants to go ahead with it, we have our team members, we have our sales team who can reach out to you, help you. The partnership team can reach out to you. They can help you with the right guidance in terms of what will be the right approach, what will be the right partnership model for you, basis your historical understanding of training, basis your team size, basis your geography standing and everything, right? So on a high level, if I want to talk about curriculum and content that is updated, technology stack that we use, LMS access, cloud based AI lab environments that we provide to our customers, so that they get hands on understanding on whatever they are learning. It's not just theoretical based learning that they are doing. Support systems where we have train the trainer, instructor led enablement, continuous updates that keeps on coming to you. Time to revenue, it's, I think, out of 5 the most important is time to revenue. Because the moment you pay something to us, you will start thinking about how would I ensure that I start generating revenue. And not you, but our partner success managers and partner marketing manager, their targets are to ensure that in the first 2 3 months they sell so much that you have complete confidence and you can go and then sell it to your customers without their support as well. So I think that becomes a very important tool and very important pillar for all of you to understand that everything that we are doing is in collaboration mode. It's not something which is in isolation mode that we will be doing it. We would need your support equally to really drive initiatives. If you think that only you can sit on top of everything and then you can guide, it won't work out. We would have to work together. We have about almost 12 success managers, customer success manager, I mean partner success manager. We have about 8 partner marketing managers across handling different multiple geographies. So I think pillar 2 is promote, which is marketing, which we talk about, which we in say it as go to market, right? So you will have marketing assets available in platform, in the partner platform. Co-branded materials are available, social kits are available. How do you promote your particular brand with our brand together? And you can create the awareness. We do a lot of webinars with our partners, so that initial attraction of the customer and initial acquisition of the customer is always there. We do at least 2 to 3 webinars in the first quarter, so that the leads that come in from the webinars, we give it to our partners, they sell it, and then they ask them to resell it to their end users and end customers. So I think demand generation is a very important pillar for us. I think if we don't support and if we don't get support from you as well, it becomes very, because sales is being always influenced by demand and the marketing, I would say. And for that, you will have to put in efforts in terms of understanding what your geography is, who is your customer, where do you position your brand, whether your website is up and running or not, whether you have the right CTAs in place. All of these things becomes very important. And of course, regional advantage, right? I mean, I have Minakshi ma'am who has been working with us. She's in India. Now, I don't have anyone in India who is promoting AI HR, but she's the one who's promoting AI HR. Today, if I get any opportunity from any of the organizations talking about, I need something into AI HR, it directly lands onto her inbox saying that this is the opportunity we have gotten, we are diverting it to you. And we will work together with you to ensure that you get the success out of it. So I think that's very important to understand that the kind of support that we will be able to give it to you, it's going to be based on how well you are able to reciprocate as a partner as well. It's not going to be always our PMM and PSMs are going to be behind this. You will also have to put in equal efforts in the collaboration to ensure that we market in the right places, because you have the customer base. You have your own customers for the last 20 years, 15 years. You have to tell us who are they, how do we create the email outbound campaigns, how do we ensure we do paid marketing with them, how do we ensure that we do SEM, how do we ensure we do Google ads with them. All of these things are very important for us to know before we even onboard you. So I think the pillar 3 is a high margin business. We all know reselling is one part of it. 30-40% you can make it there from a margin perspective, but actual money that you will be able to create is when you sell it instructor led classes. You have an instructor, you have scheduled 15-20 schedules for the next quarter. Your people are coming in on your website registering. Registration is the leading indicator for you to know how many people are going to attend. They will pay, and you will conduct the class for them. So I think that is where the actual margins will lie in. Flexible revenue models, of course, we have deliver instructor led cohorts. You can launch self-paced courses, you can run corporate training deals, you can run hybrid, which is where we have AI plus all access, where it's kind of it's a course era for all the courses. Plus you will have instructor led as well. So if it's a 5-day course delivery, you can say I will do first 3 days as instructor led and 2 days as self-paced, and then we will go with the certification exam on the 6th day. So I think it is very important to understand that all these things are possible when you have trainers, you yourself are very confident about your team, and you are confident about yourself as well as a owner. So I think that's where we will be able to scale. We always suggest our partners to start with one certification and then divert them into 5 to 10 different certifications. That's how our partners have been doing it, because we have created the tracks in that way. We have starter track, then they go into executive track, then they go into intermediate track, and then they go into the practitioners track. So there are multiple tracks that we also have created within the portfolio that we have. So that will help you to understand and make your customer understand the depth of the product that we have created, with respect to not just the variety of product but the depth in itself. So that is something that I wanted to talk about. Chintan, if you have anything to talk about, otherwise I'll take them through the partner ecosystem that we have.
Absolutely. So, as Rahul takes you to the partners ecosystem, you need to understand fully that, as we have, we re-emphasizing the product GTMs, the quality of the certification, the various roles we coming, and then we have a huge roadmap which is publicly available and lined up as well. The goal is to help you understand that you are actually having the complete ecosystem and become a part of it and stay within the ecosystem in the longer run. As you see the Sardar portfolio itself, we have a different the products and the companies which actually complements the products and the process that we do. As you become a partner with an AI search, you're actually becoming partner with an ecosystem itself. So you're getting a lot of opportunity to upsell, cross sell, and other projects you work with closely based on your current priorities as well. Over
Thank
to you, Rahul. Yeah.
Thank you. So this is my last slide that I want to take everyone through. I really want a lot of Q&A coming in. If you guys have any questions, put it across. Meenakshi ma'am, if you have anything, Jackan, Gerald, Coronaldo, and there are a lot more. I would not be able to take all the names, but please feel free to write it in the chat. What is your question? How do you want us to solve the problem? And we are there to help you. So I think on a high level, we want to talk about there are 4 major partnership models. One is authorized training partnership. Authorized training partnership is for people who have their training team, marketing team, sales team with them. They have been into training business for quite some time, offering certifications or offering training to enterprises. Very particularly to enterprises, they are authorized training partner to us. If you are an academic institution in yourself and you want to train your trainers, if you want to train your professors, you want to train your students and get them employed, you become an academic alliance partner with us. That is where the second partnership holds. If you are one of the associations, this is very rare, but if you are an association body, a certification body, you are into federations, you have your governing side, you are the one who is governing everything from end top to end. That's where you become an association partner. And the final one is affiliate partner. Affiliate partner is where you get to resell our certifications. Even if you don't have a team, don't worry, you pay a certain amount to us, and then that amount gets It's a one time payment that you make it for the reseller, and then what happens is, in affiliate partner, you get a coupon code with us. In that coupon code, you can use that coupon code to sell through our stores. So we have a store sales coming in every month. We see that, let's say Chintan has sold 10 certifications of maybe $10, which is $100 completely. So 30% of that directly goes to Chintan on a monthly basis. So I think the model is very simple. We are very clear with our approach. I think I just wanted to take everyone through on a high level, the roadmap to become a partner. Stage one is choose your AI search program, whether you want to become a technical partner, non-technical partner, or a hybrid partner. Whether you are going to sell HR courses, you are going to sell HR plus for technical courses, or you are going to sell only technical courses. So you have to decide on that. Once that is decided, we will have a partnership finalization using agreements and NDA in place, so that data integration and data privacy is already in place. And then third is seamless onboarding, because that is where you get access to all the portals. You get to meet to the partner marketing manager, partner success managers, and then they will help you launch the marketing and demand generation webinars. One of the things that we want to talk about and emphasize, that our playbook is based on webinars. We know that webinars really click well. We can invite right set of people in the webinar, and then we can actually help you with the speakers as well. So you don't have to worry about, oh Rahul, I am the only one in the organization, how would I do a webinar? If you do think you are not confident to do a webinar, we might be able to support you with one or two speakers for first webinar, and then that is where you can learn, and then you can do on your own. That's how we will be able to support you. And then these are not the people who are our employees. These are people who are AI advisors in that particular job specific roles. So they can come in, we will make the payments on your behalf, and then they will do the webinars, and then they will give you the leads. So stage 5 is deliver your first course, which I meant about instructor led, online, self-paced, hybrid, and then finally scale to enterprise and government deals, then expand it to bigger size of deals, to academic institutions, to government, to large enterprises, from transitioning from mid market to large market. So I think this is what I really wanted to talk about. Every quarter you delay is a quarter someone else becomes the AI leader in your market, and this is being very very true. We have 300 plus partners, and we have seen other partners fighting with other partners, that if we would have been in the market for a little longer, we could have invested, and we could have at least got some part of the cake that we could have enjoyed. So it's never the less, and it is never the late, I would say. If you are really looking at something to create a momentum for yourself, it is just a 30-day journey from our side. We will ensure from 30 days, from onboarding to enablement, from sales training to marketing campaigns, to your product synergy or product framework that we want to create with you together, is something that we will help you in the complete scenario. So if you have any questions around this, feel free to ask us in the chat. Chintan, if you have any closing notes, feel free to add. Shrishti, if you have anything to add. And I think this is what we wanted to summarize with.
100%. And there are a lot of good one-on-one questions that we have it. We definitely want to have a follow-up session like being asked. And thank you so much again for joining in. Shrishti, you want to wrap up?
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rahul and Chintan, for that insightful session. I hope our audience are now aligned with what we offer. And if in case, guys, you have any doubts, any questions, you have all the contact information in the chat box. Please do reach out to us. If not today, then tomorrow. Just go explore the pages, explore the website, and see what suits best for you. And the session has been recorded, so we'll be sharing the recording of the session and your participation certificates with you all shortly. We would recommend if you could just share it on your socials and tag AI Certs. We'll be very happy with that. Thank you, everyone, once again. Have a great
Thank you, Shrishti. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.